Hey, thank you for joining me. I want to talk with you about, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. It's a pet peeve within real estate investing. So I'm going to chat with you about one of my little pet peeves today. My name is Mark Hulsey. I'm the managing broker for Results Commercial Group in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. I've got a long history of being a real estate investor and a real estate broker. And so it kind of drives me crazy, you guys, when people throw around terms that they don't know or terminology that just doesn't make sense sometimes in my industry. And one of those is cap rate. Now, I did a video not that long ago about cap rate, kind of explaining what it is. And I know we've talked about cap rate with net lease investments. This little pet peeve of mine doesn't really apply to the net lease investment world, okay? Because net lease investments, that's actually when we get into true pure cap rates as a very smart measuring tool against some of our other, metrics and benchmarks that we use. So here's what I'm talking about, you guys. It drives me crazy when I take a look at another agent or broker bringing something to market and they talk about this 8.5 cap rate. And I go, do you think you can trust the cap? Do you think you can trust the cap? And that's kind of what this video is all about, is can you trust the cap? And what do I mean by that? Don't trust the cap rate, because you got to make sure that you underwrite this accurately. And what do I mean by don't trust the cap rate? You get what cap rate is. Cap rate is based on net operating income, right? Net operating income. But it drives me nuts when you've got net operating income, but we haven't factored in all of the expenses. So if I see somebody and they're talking about a cap rate, the first thing I'm thinking about, have you factored in vacancy? Have you factored in reserves? How about management fees? Because the moment we pull one of those expenses out of our line items to get to a higher net operating income, we have a fake and erroneous cap rate. We have a cap rate that doesn't make sense. And when investors use that as one of our benchmarks of whether or not it's going to be a good investment, a good return on our investment, and we're talking about a cap rate that doesn't make sense, it drives me nuts. You see it a lot I'll see it on a single family home or a duplex or small apartment buildings where you'll have an agent talking about, this 8 cap or a 9 cap. In fact, I saw a listing just a week ago where somebody listed a building. It's a 6-unit small apartment building, and they were talking about, I think it was an 8+ cap rate. They're vacating the building. So the tenants are going to be vacating and they're going to have to stabilize this asset ultimately. Guys, there isn't a cap rate. I mean, sure, we can figure out a cap rate against a pro forma, but to go out there and advertise a cap rate that doesn't exist, let's be careful about that. So it's one of the kind of like little cleanup things within the industry. But again, not to be some little investment snob, but you got to use cap rate the right way. We've got to make sure that we have the proper income, potential gross income, PGI. We got to make sure we're accounting for all the logical expenses. And again, I bring up vacancy and reserves and management fees. Think about this. When you buy a piece of property, what happens to the taxes, the property taxes? They go up, right? 9 times out of 10, the property taxes go up. Now, if you put a cap rate out there based on the current property taxes, is that real accurate information? Not really, because it's going to be an adjustment. And so investment professionals, what we're doing is we're anticipating where that tax base is going to go, what the property taxes are going to be against what the actual income is and all the other actual expenses to come up with what we believe is still going to be a true and valid cap rate. So anyhow, I hope you appreciate my little rant today about my pet peeve of cap rate. Let's make sure for those of us in the business that are doing cap rate, let's do it the right way. Let's make sure that we're showing to the potential buyer out there what a real cap rate is and what it really means. Mark Hulsey, Results Commercial Group. I hope you'll follow us on YouTube. Please subscribe to our channel. Check us out at resultscommercial.com. And if you have any questions about anything, reach out, drop me a line, drop me an email. I'll be happy to help you anytime. Thank you so much.